Hello everyone, the headline of this lesson is implicit differentiation. When we cannot write y in terms of x, or it is not easy, we use implicit differentiation. The guidelines of implicit differentiation are: number one, differentiate both sides with respect to x. Number two, collect all terms with y prime on one side and the other in the other side. Factorize the term with y prime by y prime. Solve the equation for y prime. Note the definition of normal line to the curve f of x y equals 0 at point x1, y1 is the line perpendicular to the tangent line of the curve at this point. This is the normal line. It is perpendicular to the tangent line at the point x1, y1. Note 2. The slope of the tangent line is defined except when the denominator is 0, as you know. Exercises of lesson 3.3, 1 to 4, find y prime. X power 2y plus xy power 2 equals x. The first step, differentiate both sides with respect to x. X power 2y, deal it with the multiply of two functions. The first function is x power 2, the second function is y. X power 2 times y prime plus 2x times y. The first one times the derivative of the second one plus the second one is the derivative of the first one, plus also xy squared, the first one, times the derivative of the second one, 2y y prime. When you differentiate y, set with it y prime. Y prime, it is dy over dx, since y is a function of x, plus the second one, y power 2 times the derivative of the second one, 1, of the second one, x1, equal to, differentiate 6 is 0. Now, open this brackets, x power 2 y prime plus 2xy plus 2xy y prime plus y squared equals 0. Set the terms with y prime in one side, x power 2 y prime plus 2xy y prime equal to negative 2xy minus y squared. Factorize the terms with y prime by y prime times x power 2 plus 2xy equal to negative xy minus y squared. Solve for y prime equal to negative 2xy minus y squared over x power 2 plus 2xy. This is the last answer. Question number 2. Find also y prime. I'll set cross multiplication, x minus 1 equal to y squared times x plus 1. X minus 1 equal to y squared x plus y squared. Differentiate both sides with respect to x. Derivative of x1, derivative of negative 1, 0 equal to the first one times derivative of the second one plus the second one times derivative of the first one, 2y y prime plus 2y y prime. Set the term with the y prime in one side, 2x y prime plus 2y y prime equal to y square or 1 minus y square. Factorize by y prime 2xy plus 2y equal to 1 minus y square. Solve for y prime equal to 1 minus y square over 2xy minus plus 2y. Question number 3. Differentiate both sides. Derivative of x1 equal to derivative of y tan y. It is y prime over cosine square y. Therefore, y prime equal to cosine square y. Question number 4. X plus tan xy. Differentiate both sides with respect to x. Derivative of x is 1 plus derivative of tan, it is cosine square xy in the denominator, and the derivative of the angle in the numerator. The derivative of the angle is multiply of two functions. The first one times the derivative of the second one plus the second one times derivative of the first one equal 0. Therefore, x y prime plus y over cosine square xy equal negative 1, and x y prime plus y equal to negative cosine square xy. Collect the term with y prime in one side. X y prime equal to negative y minus cosine square xy, and y prime equal to y minus cosine square xy over x, negative y. Question number 5. Find y prime and the slope at the given point. To find y prime, we differentiate both sides with respect to x. 2x plus 2y y prime equals 0. Then 2y y prime equal to negative 2x. Then y prime equal to negative 2x over 2y equal to, reduce 2 with 2, negative x over y. At the point negative 2, 3, replace every x with negative 2, every y with 3, then y prime of negative 2, 3 equal to negative 2 over 3 equal to 2 over 3. Question number 6. Also find y prime and the slope. Differentiate both sides with respect to x. 2x plus 2, 2 minus 1, 1, times the derivative of the inside the bracket, the term inside the bracket, plus 2y plus 3 times y prime equal to 0. Then open these two brackets. 2x plus 4 plus 2y plus 6 y prime equals 0. Then 6y prime equal to negative 2x minus 2y minus 4. Y prime equal to negative 2x minus 2y minus 4 over 6. At the point of negative 1, negative 7, then negative 2 times 1 minus 2 times negative 7 minus 4 over 6 equal to negative 2 plus 14 minus 4, negative 2 plus 14, 12. 12 minus 4, 8. 8 over 6 reduced by 2 4/3. Question number 7. Determine when the slope is defined. Differentiate to find y prime. 2x or x power 2 times y prime plus 2x y minus x times 2y y prime plus y power 2 times derivative of x1 equal 0. X power 2 y prime plus 2xy minus 2xy y prime minus y square equals 0. Set the term with y prime in one side, x power 2 y prime minus 2xy y prime equal to y square minus 2xy. Then y prime factorized by y prime x power 2 minus 2xy equal to y square minus 2xy. Then y prime equal to y square minus 2xy over x power 2 minus 2xy. Now, the slope of the tangent line is defined everywhere except when the denominator is 0. Then set the denominator is 0 and find the value of x. X power 2 minus 2xy equal 0. Factorized by x minus 2y equals 0. Either x equals 0 or x equal to y. Then the slope defined everywhere except when x equals 0 and x equal to y. Question number 8. Determine when the slope is defined. Find y prime first. Differentiate both sides with respect to x. 3x power 2 minus 3y power 2y equal to the first one times derivative of the second one plus the second one plus the derivative of the first one. 3y square y prime. Now 3x power 2 minus y equal to 3y power 2 y prime plus xy prime. Factorize in the right side for y prime. 3x power 2 minus y equal to y prime 3y square plus x. Y prime equal to 3x power 2 minus y over 3y power 2 plus x. Now set 3y square plus x equals 0, then x equal to negative 3y square. Therefore, the slope is defined everywhere except when x equal negative 3y square. Question number 9 to 12. Find the slope of tangent line and the normal line at the given point. First, we find the slope of the tangent line, and as you know, the normal tangent line is perpendicular to the tangent line, so its slope is reciprocal of the tangent of the slope of the tangent line. Now, differentiate this function with respect to x, 2x plus xy prime plus y times 1 minus 2y y prime equals 0. Then 2x plus y equal to 2y y prime minus xy prime. 2x plus y equal to factorized by y prime 2y minus x. Now y prime equal to 2x plus y over 2y minus x. The slope at the given point y prime equal to, replace every x with 2 and y with 3. 2 times 2 plus 3 over 2 times 3 minus 2. Y prime equal to 2 times 2, 4 plus 3, 7 over 2 times 3, 6 minus 2, 4. This is the slope of the tangent line at the point 2, 3. And for the normal, the slope of normal is reciprocal, negative reciprocal of this value, negative 4 over 6. Question number 10, differentiate both sides with respect to x power 2 times 2y y prime plus y square times 2x equals 0. Simplify. 2 x power 2 y prime plus 2xy square equals 0. Then 2x power 2 y prime equal to negative 2xy square. Therefore, y prime equal to negative 2xy square over 2x power 2 y. At the point negative 1, 3, y prime equal to negative 2 times negative 1 times 3 square over 2 times negative 1 square times 3 equal to negative times negative positive, 3 square 9, 9 times 2, 18 over negative 1 square 1 times 2, 2 times 3, 6. Divide by 6, it is 3. The slope of the tangent line is 3, and the slope of normal normal line is negative 1 over 3. 11, differentiate both sides with respect to x. 12 x plus 3 x times y prime plus y plus 4y y prime plus 17 y prime equal 0, since the derivative of negative 6 is 0. Now 12x plus 3xy prime plus 3y plus 4y prime plus 17y prime equals 0. Now 12x plus 3x plus 3y, remove or set the term with y prime in one side, plus 3y equal to negative 3xy prime minus 4y prime minus 17y prime equals 0. factorized by y prime, then negative 3x minus 4y minus 17 equal to 12x plus 3y, and y prime equal to 12x plus 3y over negative 3x minus 4y minus 17. At the point negative 1, 0, negative 12 plus 0 over 3 minus 17, then y prime equal to negative 12 over 3 minus 17, negative 14, equal to 6 over 7. And for the normal is negative 7 over 6. Question number 12. Differentiate both sides with respect to x, y prime equal to 2 cosine pi x minus y times the derivative of the inside the angle pi minus y prime. Then y prime equal to 2 pi cosine pi x minus y minus 2y prime cosine pi x minus y prime plus 2y prime cosine pi x minus y equal to 2 pi cosine pi x minus y. Factorized by y prime, 1 plus 2 cosine pi x minus y equal to 2 pi cosine pi x minus y. Then y prime equal to 2 pi cosine pi x minus y over 1 plus 2 cosine pi x minus y. At the point 1, 0, replace every x with 1, every pi with 0, every y with 0, sorry. Therefore, y prime equal to 2 pi cosine pi minus 0 cosine pi over 1 plus 2 cosine pi minus 0. Y prime equal to cosine pi. You know this is pi, cosine pi is negative 1. So negative 2 pi over 1 plus or 1 minus 2 equal to 1 minus 2, negative 1, negative 2 pi over negative 1 equal to 2 pi. This is the slope of the tangent line. And for the normal is negative 1 over 2 pi. Question number 13 to 18, find the second derivative of the given function. To find the second derivative, we need to find the first derivative first, then we find the second derivative. Use the same rules of the differentiation of the first derivative to find second and third and higher order derivative. F prime of x equal to 3 over 2 times 4 x to the power 3 over 2 minus 1 equal to, reduce 4 with 2, 6 x to the 3 over 2 minus 1, 1 half. Now the second derivative of x equal to 6 times 1 half, x to the half minus 1, reduce 2 with 6, 3x to the negative a half equal to 3 over square root x. 14, the first derivative f prime of x equal to 1 minus 32 x to the negative 2. Then the second derivative f double prime of x equal to derivative of 1 0 negative 32 times negative 2 x to the negative 3 equal to 64 x to the negative 3 equal to the 64 over x power 3. Question number 15. Find the first derivative of this function. The denominator x minus 1 times the derivative of the numerator 1 minus the numerator times the derivative of the denominator of the over denominator square. Simplify, then find the second derivative. X minus 1 minus x over x minus 1 square. Negative x with positive x equal to negative 1 over x minus 1 square. The second derivative f double prime of x equal to the denominator times the derivative of numerator 0 minus the numerator negative 1 times the derivative of the denominator 2x minus 1 to the power 1 times 1 over x minus 1 to the power 4. Simplify. Negative times negative, positive 2 x minus 1 over x minus 1 to the power 4. Reduce x minus 1 with x minus 1 power 4. 2 over x minus 1 to the power 3. Number 16. Find the first derivative f prime of x equal to the denominator x times the derivative of the numerator 2x plus 2 minus the numerator x power 2 plus 2x minus 1 times the derivative of denominator 1 over x power 2. Simplify. Equal to 2x power 2 plus 2x minus x power 2 minus 2x plus 1 over x power 2. 2x with negative 2x, 2x power 2 minus x power 2, it is x power 2 plus 1 over x power 2. The second derivative, f double prime of x equal to the denominator x power 2 times the derivative of numerator 2x minus the numerator x power 2 plus 1 times the derivative of the denominator 2x over x power 4 equal to 2x power 3 minus 2x power 3 minus 2x over x power 4. 2x power 3 with 2x power 3, x with x, negative 2 over x power 3. F of x, number 17, f of x equal 3 sine x, f prime of x equal to 3 cosine x. Then f double prime of x equal to negative 3 sine x. Question number 18. Find the second derivative of this function. The first derivative, f prime of x equal to cosine x times the derivative of the numerator 0 minus the numerator 1 times derivative of the cosine negative sine x over cosine square x equal to negative times negative positive sine x over cosine square x. The second derivative, f double prime of x equal to the denominator cosine square x times derivative of the numerator cosine x, derivative of sine, minus sine x times derivative of the cosine 2 cosine x times negative sine x over cosine power 4x equal to, simplify, cosine power 3x minus times minus positive sine square x 2 sine square x cosine x over cosine power 4x. Factorize by cosine x for the numerator, cosine square x plus 2 sine x over cosine power 4x. Reduce cosine with cosine, then cosine square x plus 2 sine x over cosine power 3x. Also, we can write it as cosine square x plus sine square x plus sine square here, 2 sine square cosine sine square x plus sine square x over cosine cube x equal to cosine square x plus sine square x is 1 plus sine square x over cosine cube x. Number 9 to 20, find the required derivative. F prime of x equal x power 2, find f double prime. F double prime of x equal 2x. Number 20, f double prime of x is 2 minus 2x. Find f triple prime. Derivative of 2 is 0 minus the denominator times the derivative of the numerator 0 minus the numerator derivative of the denominator 0 over denominator square. Negative times negative, positive 2 over x squared. Number 21, if third derivative of x is 2 square root x, find the fourth derivative of x. Rewrite this, or the fourth derivative of x equal to 2 over 2 square root x equal to 1 over square root x. Question number 22. The fourth derivative of x is 2x plus 1. Find the sixth derivative. The fifth derivative of x equal to 2, and the sixth derivative of x equal to 0. See you next lesson.